Good morning. I'm back after a long absence. I will explain that later in another video. I just thought I'd make a quick video. Since I've experienced it the past month, I've been building my website and I've been working really hard. I had a hard time, and I had a meltdown and then inertia and stuff. And so I guess what my brain does is, kind of like an OCD reaction of defense against that inertia that, to sort of engage in it, I perseverate. I wrote this funny quote this morning on Facebook. There's persevering and there's perseverating. Because it's true. I persevered a lot through this. It was hard. It was a really mean bully attack. I'm not talking about it right now, but anyway, I nearly gave up and didn't finish and stopped making videos and stuff. And then I decided to come back and completely change the way that I built my website. So it's almost done now. Girloutside.org. It's finally pretty well done. I'm really excited about it. A few little corrections I need to make here and there, but it's safe to say that you can go to that URL. But anyway, point is that, yeah, when does persevering become perseverating? Because, I'm sure that any Aspie can relate to this that has a lot of, passion about something. There's two kinds of perseverating, really. There's perseverating over something you like, that you love, and then there's also perseverating over something that's upsetting, which is something that happens when something traumatic happens, especially if it was triggering and it does remind you of the past and a traumatic experience. You perseverate over it, especially when you can't change it. So that's one thing that's horrible. I went through a really bad traumatic experience like last year or whatever, and I perseverated over it for a long time because it was very unfair and I couldn't really change it, and it was an abuse of power and I couldn't do anything about it. So it really interfered with my life for a long time. But then there's also that perseverating, that work perseverating, like something you love to do, and I have to, I'm a mom with kids, so mainly I suffer with that at night, which is bad because then I get to bed at like 2 and 3 in the morning. So when I finish my bio, I'm going to really crack down on my bedtime. But I love doing this, and I realized that I love doing it, which is why I didn't want to quit. And yeah, so, but you're at the computer and you need to go to bed. Your brain is done. You need to go, and that's when you start perseverating. The worst is when you really just need to rest, and you just start, getting in a loop over something that you want to fix or you want to change, and then you zone in and you start. I find that when I start perseverating, I can elaborate on stuff too, and then it's like, oh man, that's not necessary. Time to go. So it's like you get to this point where you're like, it can be bad. It's work is great, work is good, passions are good, but I have to keep an eye on myself because I'm prone to forget to eat enough, and annoyed that annoyed that I have to go pee, stupid bladder, shut up, I'm trying to work. That's perseverating. So I'm sure that we can all relate with that. The mad scientist in the lab, just one more, no, time to go, time to go. So anyway, yeah, perseverating, perseverance. Where's the line on that one? That one, when it comes to my work, it's a little bit of a fine line for me, and I'm getting better. When I first came back and started doing my site, I was kind of, I had to sort of take a step back because I was getting really intense, and then I had a really rough week because it got too intense, and it kind of started to affect things in my life. And then I realized, okay, it doesn't need to be done. You missed the deadline because of what happened, and it doesn't need to be done urgently. Just, and then, so now I'm feeling a lot better than I was, because that was a week and a half ago now. So now I took a step back, I took my time, and I took it easy a bit. And it's turned out really great because of that. In fact, the perseverating was really actually slowing me down. So, but yeah, it's always been a big one for me, and I know for a lot of people, which is why it amazes me that I never got diagnosed with autism, because that's one of the main signs, is that my kid perseverates all the time over like certain Lego that he wants and stuff, and it drives me nuts. But I have to remember that I do the same damn thing, you know. So anyway, nerd. Loving my